My ancestors didn't have the word burnout, but their bodies knew what it felt like to carry too much for too long with no permission to rest. I come from a people that survived the unsurvivable. And somewhere in that lineage is a wisdom about the body that most of us were never taught to access. I almost ran myself into the ground before I remembered that wisdom. It was 2 a.m., and I was staring at a screen where the math wasn't mathing. And when you're responsible for a budget of billions, the math really needs to math. I was a program executive at NASA, overseeing a $2.3 billion space weather satellite that was designed to detect solar storms before they hit Earth. From the outside, it looked like success. Inside, my jaw was clenched, my breath shallow, and my heart was racing at 110 beats per minute, and I was just sitting in a chair. I wasn't being chased, but my body didn't know that. And then I realized this: I cannot build a national security asset with a brain that believes it's being hunted by a panther. Yet millions of us do exactly that every single day. We call it ambition. Biologically, it's survival mode. When your nervous system lives in survival mode, you pay a cognitive tax on every thought. Chronic stress shuts down the prefrontal cortex. This is the part of the brain responsible for creativity, focus, empathy, long-term thinking. Your brilliance doesn't disappear. Access to it does. So I want you to feel this. Picture someone you love. Say their name silently. Hold their face, the image in your mind. And then take 3 fast, shallow breaths. Did the image blur? Did your body tighten? That's your nervous system choosing survival over connection. Because when your body believes it's in danger, connection goes offline. Clarity narrows. Empathy shrinks. Vision contracts. So imagine making decisions for your company, your community, your family, yourself from that state. That is the hidden cost of chronic chaos. For 14 of my 23 years at NASA, I was quietly doing something that most of my colleagues didn't know about. I was studying mind-body regulation, breath work, nervous system science, ancient healing practices, not as a hobby, as survival. One night, I was laying in my bed in the dark at home, and I could hear it. The blood rushing in my ears. My blood pressure had been elevated for months. My doctor was concerned. And my body was sending me a message I could no longer ignore. You are not okay. So no title, no promotion, no program is worth bankrupting your nervous system. Survival mode is not a character flaw. It's a biological state, and biological states can be changed. The fastest way to shift your nervous system is by doing something you were already born to do. Breathe. Fast breath signals danger. Slow breath signals you're safe. Our ancestors knew this in ceremony, in song, in prayer, in the drum, in the collective rhythm of the breath. And science is just now catching up to what they always knew. So let's try it together. Inhaling slowly through the nose, and a longer exhale. Feel that shift? That shift is access. Access to clarity, access to connection, access to your highest intelligence. I call this framework, the one that kept me in the room and also eventually set me free, engineering your calm. Because calm isn't a feeling you wait for, it's a skill you build. The people I work with now, engineers, executives, leaders, and also healers, they didn't just become calmer, they became clearer, more present, more resilient. I call them calminaires, people who treat their internal state as their most valuable asset, not because they have $1 million, but because they've reclaimed 1 million moments of clarity. Calm is not the absence of the storm. It's the ability to stay grounded within it. In a world addicted to urgency, calm is rare. And what is rare is powerful. So imagine leaders deciding from regulation instead of fear. Imagine innovation fueled by clarity instead of burnout. Imagine a generation taught nervous system literacy as early as algebra. And as I close, I'm going to ask you to think of one pressure point in your life right now and really feel it. And we're going to breathe together. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling slowly out the mouth. That shift you feel is access. You don't need more productivity hacks. You don't need to push harder. You need regulation. And when you regulate your nervous system, you don't just survive pressure. You transform it into power. 23 years of leading high-stakes projects and programs, and then 14 years quietly learning to regulate my own system. Now I help others do the same. The future won't belong to the most stressed. It will belong to the most regulated. That is the future of leadership. And that is the future of humanity. And that future, it all starts with one breath. Thank you.